You're watching Soccer Night in Detroit.
Welcome. It's me, Hannah Crum, with two legends.
Okay, me, Steve.
And Mad Cat.
And Mad Cat.
This guy right here. Every time you score, he has to play this song for you every time, every single time.
David, I believe in Derek.
Let's go. All right. Hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving, and the fun continues. Even though the season is over, there's still lots to talk about. Obviously, we got the World Cup draw coming up this Friday at noon, and lots of things to talk about in the championship. So, I mean, here we go. We got an hour to kill, so let's do this.
Yes, hello. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I had a quiet Thanksgiving. Went to the parade, by the way. It was really good. And then I did come back, watch the Lions kill their playoff chances, brother.
They're not dead yet. They're not
But the
dead yet.
medical camper, they're almost nearly dead. So
They're not quite dead yet. They got the Cowboys.
But yeah, but this is a big week. It's World Cup draw week. Normally we would be PG King with the World Cup draw, but yes, we have been dubbing it the draw from hell because it's going to be in D.C.
We just hope so.
It was supposed to be in Vegas, but they moved to D.C. I wonder why.
Let's just hope he doesn't ruin things for the World Cup like he did for the Club World Cup, but I digress. This is not a political show. This is not a political show. So, obviously...
Yeah, I know, but we're trying not to make it a political show, but he's trying to make it a political show with everything. What I heard on Morning Cook Around after the draw, guess who's going to close it out? His favorite band, the Village People. Oh, brother.
Yeah, I think I heard something about that on Talk Sport the other day, this morning when they were talking about the draw. So it's like, oh, brother.
Yeah. One of my faves.
I'm surprised Lee Greenwood's not going to be there as well.
Thank God.
Anywho.
Thank God we're less avoided. But before we lose control, let's talk about the World Cup.
Yes. There are right now 48 I wouldn't say teams because there's still a few teams that are still a few countries that are in flux. Let's just say that right now because they're waiting. They're in qualification tournaments or
playoff.
Obviously the final 16 UEFA in a qualification tournament. Also, there's another playing game, Confederations playing that is going on as well. So, two international pool qualifiers as well. So, as you look at it here, 4 different pots. The first pot consists of the host teams and the top 9 teams in the world at this point. So
yes. The home country, the home host, USA, Mexico, and Canada are in pot 1. And the next 9 are the top 9 teams according to the FIFA rankings. That's Spain, Argentina, France, England, Brazil, Portugal, Netherlands, Belgium, and Germany, the usual suspects. Now, the draw will start by picking the 3 predetermined team of the host country, and it's already been predetermined. Mexico will be in Group A. Canada will be in Group B, and USA will be in Group D. Then after that, it gets a little bit interesting for the rest of the world.
Absolutely. Everything will be figured in there. Obviously, the top 12 of the top 12 will. I mean, everybody else. The other 9 teams will get their own pots eventually, but that'll be determined by the draw, of course. But they'll have their own groups as they go along. So when we do this.
And by the way, the top 4 teams have top 4 teams in the world, according to have a special advantage in the knockout stage. Mention that.
Yes, they will not be able to face each other up until the knockout stage. Probably semifinals at the latest or at the
Yes,
earliest.
and each team will be alone in their own quadrant when the group of 32 begin. Now, this to get interesting. They will begin drive for pot 2 and pot 3, and I'll mention pot 2: Croatia, Morocco, Colombia, Uruguay, Switzerland, Japan, Senegal, Iran, South Korea, Ecuador, Australia in pot 2. Now in pot
You got them
3,
both.
yeah. Now in pot 3, you have Norway, Panama, Egypt, Algeria, Scotland, Paraguay, Tunisia, Ivory Coast or Cote d'Ivory, Uzbekistan, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and South Africa. They will once the draw the thing. This thing get interesting because they cannot be placed on the same region. You know what I mean? They got to separate it, except for UEFA. We'll tell you about that. So let's say a CONCACAF team, like let's say if they get drawn, they cannot be placed in group A, B, or D. That's USA, Canada, and Mexico. So let's say they'll go out of order, placing them to make sure 4 different separations of confederations. That's CONCACAF, Kabul, the African Confederation, UEFA, of course, Asia, and Oceania.
So they're trying to make it a little bit more diverse as far as the
And that has been great, by the way. You know what I mean? They separate all the teams. They can't place them in until we get the knockout stage. And then pot 4, which is a little bit different.
just a little bit different here. I mean, these are obviously nations that are lower on the food chain, shall we say, as far as the world
Literally.
football ranking. Yeah, world football rankings are concerned. But you got some stories here that are very interesting. Obviously, there was one in pot 2 that you mentioned, Iran.
Yeah.
They're and another one that's in pot 4. I'll go through the teams in pot or countries in pot 4 first of all. Jordan, Cape Verde, Ghana, Curacao, Haiti, New Zealand, and then you have your pool winners from UEFA 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then your international pools. There are 2 of those.
You're right. International Conference Pool 1, New Caledonia and Jamaica against the Congo. Yeah, that's DR Congo, Democratic Republic Congo. In the second playoff pool, Bolivia, Kurdistan will face on the winner of Iraq. And then the UEFA pool, you got Wales, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Italy, and Northern Ireland. We playoff pot 2, Ukraine, Sweden, Poland, and Albania. Pot 3, Slovakia, Kosovo, Turkey, Roman, and the fourth final player, Chechnya, Ireland,
Gotcha.
Denmark, and North Macedonia. Now, here's a little bit interesting part. Since UEFA have 16 teams in the pot, there could be 4 groups in the 12 group of play that have more than 2 UEFA teams.
Yeah. So what they'll do is they'll do like a semifinal and a final for each group. The winners of each group will get those 4 spots. Will get those spots.
Yes, and the semifinals are set for March 26th with the finals on March 31st. Talk about March Madness or March Nervousness or whatever.
March Madness and UEFA, indeed, for sure.
Yeah.
As they go through those playoffs. So or the play in, shall we say, the play in to the World Cup. So it should be some interesting thing. Now I alluded to Iran earlier, and also Haiti, because those 2 countries are on a certain president's little
ban list.
Yes.
Oh, brother.
Yeah. So they have to play. So from what it sounds like, they may have to play their games outside the U.S., which mean either in Canada or in Mexico, depending on especially their first round games. Now, I'm not seeing them as a vital threat to make the top, the top 32, shall we say, from group play.
You're right.
But the thing is, I mean, with the travel bans. Them coming into those people from those countries coming into the U.S. You're probably going to see those countries grouped in and probably play their games either in Canada or in Mexico.
I know, and actually, the Iranian delegation who was supposed to be here decided to boycott the entire draw because their visa process was taking way too long. I said, "There's no use of it." You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, brother.
I think it might be a little bit more easier with a different person in charge.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. But yeah, the strategy doesn't seem to work, and yeah, in a time like this, we don't need to have that. But
No.
like I said, trying to keep the politics out of it as far as that goes.
This is going to be difficult trying to keep politics out of the World Cup, although we
It's
have 6 months to think about it. Now, you and I, you know, I mean, we can't predict where the draw is going. We told you about the restrictions, like the U.S. can't play any other Costa Cap team in their groups and all that. So we did a draw simulation, and yes, I got suckered into a draw simulation. You got suckered into a draw simulation. So, first of all, let's go with you with your draw simulation. Did you? How many times did you do it? Once, twice, three,
I just
four?
did it the one time. So this is like a total new reveal as far as that goes. So in Group A, I have Mexico,
Okay.
Uruguay, Norway, and Jordan, which means my boy will be taking on El Tree.
L Tree.
Yes.
Okay.
My
Who's
boy,
your boy?
Erling Haaland, of course.
Oh yes,
And we'll
we
talk
have.
about him. And we'll talk about him later.
Yeah. Okay.
So, Group B, I have Canada, Croatia, Paraguay, and Ghana. Pretty easy
Oh
group there.
my.
Yeah, pretty easy group there. Group C, we have England, Morocco, Saudi Arabia, and Denmark. Denmark could be dangerous.
Yes. Pretty dangerous.
Yeah, they could be the Danish could be a bit dangerous as far as England's chances go. Should be an easy group for them to, shall we say, get out of.
What
Group,
about Group D, the one we're in? What was your result from Group D?
I have the USA, Senegal, Scotland,
Oh
and
my.
Turkey.
Or Turkey, but that's the new way to
Yeah,
pronounce it,
that's the
right?
new pronunciation is Turkey.
Okay. All
But
right.
yeah, I mean that's going to be an interesting group right there. You got the Scots, and Turkey. I think U.S. played Turkey recently.
Yeah.
Recently in their international friendlies. So that should be that should be a little bit of an interesting group there. Group E, Argentina, the defending champions, with Australia, Ivory Coast, and New Zealand should be should be
Easy.
okay. Yeah, should be a breeze for Messi and the boys there.
Is
Group
Messi
F,
going to play the World Cup?
it's sounding like he might.
Oh my God, he's taking a risk from preserving his legacy, winning as champion of last World Cup to play in this World Cup.
It
And
could
I
be.
like him as an international
I
player.
mean, well, the thing is, I mean, the World Cup being in your own country that you're playing in right now makes it a little bit easier.
Probably so. Okay, let's get to
So,
the other group, according to you.
okay, so we got Brazil, Switzerland, Egypt, and Italy in Group F. So Mo Salah taking on the Brazilians in that one. And of course, Italy coming out of that. Italy will be coming out of that UEFA um, uh, battle royale, shall we say? Um, let's see. We go to Group G with Germany, Ecuador, South Africa, and Iraq. Iraq, I think,
Probably
is another one of
easy
those
group for
nations.
Germany. That's probably a good easy group for Germany.
Yeah, and I think Iraq is another one of those nations. I want to say that's on that travel ban list as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. Where these games are going to be played as well. So, Group H has Spain, Japan, Tunisia, and Poland.
Okay.
A little interesting there. Group I with the other noted travel ban country, Haiti. They contain Belgium, South Korea, Algeria, and the aforementioned Haiti.
Uh-huh.
And then we go to Group J, Portugal, with Ronaldo and
Yeah, the
Fernandez.
living statue there. Oh my.
Yes, Austria, Uzbekistan, and Cabo Verde.
Whoa, their first World Cup. Man.
Yeah. Group A, Group K, you got the finalists from 22: France, Iran, Panama, and DR Congo.
I'm hoping for Mbappe mania, literally. I'm a fan of Mbappe. I always say his name, Mbappe, 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 Mbappe. Let's hope any Congo fan don't put a curse on him. There was allegations during the qualifying rounds that the coach was not happy that somebody used voodoo on one of their opponents. Oh my! Oh,
Interesting there.
probably
Group
interesting.
Group L is Netherlands, Colombia, Qatar, and Curacao.
Uh huh.
And
Okay.
that rounds out the 12 groups.
Mhm. I took a little different viewpoint. I decided to, last night, last night, this morning, simultate the World Cup. I used World Cup simulator.com. I prepped it 40 times, 20 last night, 20 this morning, to find a common goal. I'm not going to go for all the groups. I'm going to focus on the USA group. And from the look of it, if I get my notes correct, they're possibly the group may be Austria, Ghana, and Scotland. Maybe.
Scotland looks like you know, it'd be interesting to see the Scots. And it's great to see them in the World Cup. It's going to be interesting to see them in that group. To be honest, I think Judge and you had Ghana in your group that you said.
Ghana's in the group of more often of the 40 I did, you know what I mean? And
Uh huh.
Austria, which was probably the last group that showed up the most time.
Yeah. I mean, mine had obviously Senegal and Turkey. Um, but yeah, I could see this group with possibly USA and Scotland moving on.
Possibly so, yeah, because most of the top had the USA on top or tied at the top. You know what I mean? Didn't and there was one group that finished in third of the 40 simulations I did. As for how far the US will go, not much. I hate to say it. The most common time was conk out in the round of 16 or the round 32. That came up the most often. Three of
Yeah,
the simulation had them at the quarterfinals, and I don't know how much I trust these simulations and all that. One of the simulation had them winning the World Cup. That was my
that'd
reaction.
be amazing. That'd be an amazing thing for Pochettino because no foreign coach or foreign-born coach has won the cup with another country.
I know, yeah,
Something
yeah,
that
and
something
by
that
the way,
both
the USA
Pochettino and Thomas Tuchel have to face.
the odds for the USA is a long shot at best of making the World Cup. Like I said, the farthest we did was either round of 8 or round of 4. I don't know. Back in the 30 years I did. Now it did
I
surprise.
think they were semifinalists back in 30. I want to say
I see. Yeah, right. Oh, that was before my time, by the way.
before both of our times combined. I think.
I know. Well, according to all the 40 simulations I went to, there are two clear favorites that showed up double digits. Argentina to repeat and Spain.
Spain has been playing some interestingly good football as of late. So I mean, they are one of the top, the top clubs or top countries in the world as far as football goes. Never count out France
Okay.
because they could be a factor as well,
I know. And
especially with Mbappe, and you
oh yeah.
all
Mbappe, Mbappe,
and
Mbappe.
the other thing is as far as the top four teams or top four national teams in the world, England.
Yes.
and
They
they're
have made.
always in the conversation. The problem is with England, they get there, they let's just say I wouldn't let's just say they're the loose city of the World Cup.
Blue City. Oh,
All the expectations, never the fulfillment. And grant you, last World Cup, I was hoping on them hard, obviously, because two of my players were on there, Stones and Walker were on there. Phil Foden was on there as well, part of that squad. And Jack Grealish was part of that. I believe was part of that squad too, and I think he was a member of Manchester City back then as well. But yeah, it was basically I was basically rooting for England and all that stuff, and then they had the draw against the United States in group play, and that was the interesting thing about the last World Cup, having England and the United States in the same group.
I know. I remember that ridiculous goal. USA passed the goaltender. It was something. They drove to 1-1. I remember a lot of media was harping, including the tabloid, saying he had sex before the match. That's the reason why I get it. I have to mention this one thing. I never mentioned this and all that. The teams are on a strict deadline. When they go to bed early, get ready, wake up, they have no time for sex. For God's sakes, British tabloids. Oh my God.
Gotta love
True.
them. Gotta love them.
True.
We get most of our best stuff from them. But I remember going down there. I remember going down there for Black Friday. I think I took the day off work for that and decided to go down there. Here I am, blasted New Order all the way down to the clubhouse, and and then sure enough, it ends up being a 1-1 draw.
I know. Speaking of which, what do you think about Argentina's chances of repeating the World Cup if
I
Messi's
mean,
going to play?
other than Messi, they still got some good players, and Messi is on his way to an MLS MVP award. He's still playing good at 38, despite I mean, I'm not a Messi lover, as you can tell. I've posted it many times, and I've mentioned it on this program many a times as far as Messi goes. But no, he's still a factor in this team. You got Julian Alvarez as well, one of the young up and coming stars on that club on that squad. Um, Playing that brand of South America football, physical, but they can also get you. They can also get you offensively as well.
Okay. All right.
I would not put. Let's just say I would not discount them for even getting I would not discount a repeat for that squad for that team.
And one more team before we go. It showed up 3 of my times in the simulation. What about my third favorite team? I go hierarchy. USA in the World Cup. If they're done, England. And then if they're done, Brazil. One of the most popular clubs in the world. You know what I mean? Do you think they have a chance of winning the World Cup? They haven't won one. You know what I mean?
They have a chance. They're always going to be a factor. They're always going to have a chance. I look at them with like Germany. I group them with like Germany and Spain and Italy. Amongst those squads. Now Italy obviously not having the having to go through that group of 16 in UEFA right now to try to make the tournament. So realistically, I group them with Germany and Spain as far as that goes. They're going to be a factor, of course they are. They're always a factor. Brazilian soccer is always going to be a factor in any World Cup, regardless.
Uh-huh.
So,
And if they win it, they'll probably point to the sky for you, Pele, one of the greatest of all time.
and
So
many
go.
of the great Brazilian players that have played in the past as well. So, but
Before we move on, I have to mention where you could see it. You could see it over there live on free TV. It's going to be on Fox at 12 noon. They have a pregame, and unfortunately, you're going to have to say we don't like to see a lot of this. I'm sorry to say. In Detroit, locally, it's on Fox 2 Detroit, WJBK TV, Channel 2 in Detroit. Outside the Detroit area, consult your local listing. So it's going to be fun and cringeworthy.
Yep, and we're going to do a World Cup draw review on Friday night. Following the draw, we'll break down all the teams that are in the mainly basically break down what the U.S. is going to be facing heading forward. Break down how this tournament's going to go, and look at the sites as well.
Okay, let's do that for Friday night on Saturday. We'll be released on Saturday, and we'll lord the times of where they're playing in. It's going to be a Hondoggle or whatever that is. I don't know.
Hondoggle, I love it. Speaking of Hondoggles, the USL Championship or the USL silly season or hot stove has been heating up as of late, though. Signing this morning by Lou City.
Yes.
Hugo Faru from
Yes.
Loudoun United comes to the horse racing capital of the world.
Yeah, I know. That was kind of surprising, thinking they're moving on from the most valuable goaltender, Damien Louth, going back to Austin FC Austin. And they said, well, hey, we got a goaltender. He come from Loudoun United. Do you have stats on that guy? Because, like I said, I'm still talking on the phone after almost 4 months of this. You know what I mean?
Faru led the was the keeper for Loudoun United last year. 27 matches, 4 clean sheets, 3 of 8 in safe penalties for a 6.81 FOTMOB rating, and pretty much helped Loudoun get into the a playoff spot. First time first time that's happened in the history of the club, and I look at it this way: Damian Loss, we don't know if he's going to be available next year.
Okay.
We don't know, after the stellar season that he had, we don't know if he's going to be available next year. We don't know if FC Austin's going to be willing to loan him out again, or he's going to move on to possibly join the parent club.
Okay.
So,
or possibly another MLS team. Who knows?
Or possibly another USL team. You never know. It's a funny thing with these loanees where they end up going towards the end of their deals and whatnot. So laws they're not sure about. They wanted to get stability. They got stability in Faru that's gonna help it, and it's typical Louisville once again.
Yeah, I know. Louisville once again.
Yep.
Well,
they don't reload, they rebuild.
I know about that. Well, last week, yeah.
Go ahead.
You're about to say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Last week, before I go into all the signing, Detroit City FC, and I had to do a double check. Detroit City FC released the list of players leaving and all that. One player was listed under contract was Marcel Salino. He was listed on contract. Well, yesterday via Pelosi. Thank you very much. According to Sean Spencer from Make City Make Spence, and double checked by the majors, that he parted away with the club. Like, what the hell? I had to do a double check from the press release last week, and you're asking the question, what the hell?
Well, apparently on the social media yesterday, it was announced that he was being released by the club. However, they took it down immediately after that and put up a picture of Sebastian Guazzati, who we already knew was going to the New York Cosmos anyway.
I know. Bigger question: was this a mistake on the social media team, or?
Probably something that, a lot of us already knew, but the club did not want to release it yet, so yeah.
To be continued.
To be continued there, so yeah. There has been, as you mentioned, there has been talks going on as far as that goes about releasing Pulisic. Pulisic not really a major factor ever since. I mean, early on he was decent. I'm gonna look up his I'm gonna look up his stats right now. But early on, it seemed like um, he was decent for the most part because you know when he was healthy. But the thing was, he got injured and wasn't available for most of the lineup, so he became more of a, shall we say, a liability than anything else.
Yeah, right. He was a liability. Yeah, injury prone, and that's the problem when you players often get injured. And
Yeah, and then I mean, he was injured before he came here as well, if you
mhm.
remember correctly. Before he came to Detroit City FC, he was coming off an injury then. But 8 matches he appeared in, and that was it.
No.
And I mean,
Well,
for somebody that's worth $80,000, I mean, that's not a good investment.
you're correct about that. Yeah.
So
You're
they basically, so maybe something that had to have happened as far as that goes. Maybe it reoccurred or whatever it is. We don't know. Obviously, they don't tell us anything. But I mean, the sad thing is that he ends up being. It sounds like he's going to be released by Detroit City SC. But
Well, incidentally, last week, like I said, almost all the teams made their roster elites who being let go because they're out of contract and all that. I had to look at, and let me build this up. Sacramento Republic FC decided to make let the players who are not coming back. One of them, after almost a decade, popped up. One local product named Russell Cicerone. And I said, he's from the local area. He grew up in the southeastern Michigan region. And I put it on my Facebook page. Come on home, end your career here, sign with City. And you know me, I'm kind of an opposite. Well, it.
Tampa Bay's building a roster.
Yeah, he took his talent to the west coast of
Or East
Florida.
Coast. Yeah, from the West Coast to the East Coast to the
You're
Gulf,
right, but the
to
west
the
coast
Gulf
of
of
Florida,
Mexico,
west coast of
basically. Yeah,
Florida.
yeah,
You know where Tampa Bay is, the west coast of Florida. But
yeah.
yeah, he signed with
The West
Tampa
Coast of
Bay.
Florida, right by
Yeah,
the Gulf. But
yeah.
Tampa Bay, oh my God, they are making a killing this year.
Yeah, I'm reading my notes. They signed 4 players, including one from League One just today. They announced on social. Kristen Hagalan. He goes from League One FC Naples to Tampa Bay.
Leland Archer just got signed yesterday by Tampa Bay as well. So I mean, this team right now, I mean, despite being out of the playoffs last year, they're making a statement saying, okay, this is not acceptable. We're going to be
You're
back.
right.
We're going to be a factor again.
Yes, after the season they had last year, letting go of players, including Cal Jennings, which did really well for Charleston. This team is very serious coming back to the playoffs and contending for a title.
Yeah, Micheletto, Cicerone, as you mentioned, and I mentioned Leland Archer. So, yeah, this team's a load up. They only kept 8. Yeah, they only kept.
Michelino come from Colorado Springs switchback.
Yes, they only kept 8 players. So right now it's a complete overhaul that's going
Oh
on in
my.
Tampa Bay for
Oh my.
one Don Casiato.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I mean, needless to say, I mean, these like I said, Tampa Bay may be a factor going forward in the playoff structure. So I mean, we shall see there. No, I'm
One
looking at transfer track. I'm also looking at transfer tracker right now. Pulisic is still in the uh keep or the sign portion of, not the sign, but the the holding portion. So it's in
Okay.
flux right now.
One other player who signed, Indy 11 signed Charlie Sharp. He come from Next Pro. He's going to be on the Indy 11 squad. And two more front office news and notes. Noel McCabe, who recently retired from Lou City, he have now transitioned to coaching. He was named the assistant coach of the Colorado Springs Switchbacks.
A good move there. Of course, try to get the Switchbacks into, even though they did make the playoffs last year, trying to get back into a better position over there. So it should help their
I know.
squad.
And Sacramento Republic President GM Todd Dullivan stepped down to join, I think, an MLS team here, Red Bull or New York City FC, one of the two. I don't know.
NYCFC, I believe.
NYFC, yeah. So he leaves Sacramento after 8 years to move up to the big league.
Yep, and a club that is about ready to open up a new stadium in a couple years.
I know. Okay, so that's all the USL Hostel League, and like I said, we're going to do a winter break before we see you again. But like I said, that Hostel will be up. I'm listing all of them because I hope to make my playoff standing prediction better next year after the season we went through broad predictors and all that. So yeah.
So.
Speaking which, next time we're going to see each other will be at the clubhouse on January 3rd because it will be the first home game of our women's team, and they announced their roster this week.
They announced their roster, and also the schedule dropped a few minutes before we went to record on the DCSC socials. So the schedule has dropped for the upcoming season. Yeah, we're looking at, let's see here.
Pretty much they have all the people back from last year's championship winning team. Pretty much,
for the most part. I mean, you look at the roster here for Detroit City FC, a lot of familiar faces on there. To Fend, Amanda Britton, of course, and Ania Dow, Cameron Evans, Claire Silverino.
Allison Lapointe is going to start in goals.
Yes, we got Allison Lapointe.
After Gabby Trier
Lapointe's back. Also, Fatima Nasser, part of the squad as well.
Anderson's back.
Yeah, look at the good. Yeah, Kirsten Williams, also the backup goaltender,
and one certain player who has been a mascot or good luck charm for this show. You've seen her on the opening for Soccer Night.
And the opening of this show.
Yeah, one Hannah Crum.
Yes, Hannah Crum back with the squad as well. One of our personal favorites. Black Arrow Award winner from last year as well. So she's back on the squad. Kayla Addison obviously back on the squad as well. And shall we say, it's, like I said, the lineup, I mean, pretty much the same group from last year that went to the final in Davenport against Chihuahua Savage, in which this could be a chance in which Detroit City could make some waves in this league this year.
You're right, because the entire women's league is open because Chickasaw Savage is not going to do the repeat, because Chickasaw Savage withdrew from not only both the men's league and the women's league. We talked about that before.
Very much so, because like I said, yeah.
Do you think Hannah Crum will survive indoor soccer? It's a little different piece.
Hannah Crum did well last year. Yeah, she's one of those stalwarts from the that played on the women's, played on the outdoor side and is accustomed and played very well on the women's indoor side as well. So Hannah Crum has, like I said, she's had experience in it. So it's, she takes that game and brings it out to the outdoor. Kind of like what Kayla Addison does, takes the indoor game, brings it into the outdoor. And that's the thing too, because you look at our men's indoor guy, Matt Lewis. He took his skills from the indoor game, applied them out to the outdoor, and became one of the great defenders in Detroit City history.
I know, and I remember talking to some girl. How do you apply it to from the indoor game? Because it's a little bit different beast. The ball hit the board. In outdoor games, the ball go out of bounds, either quarter or goal kick, and all that stuff. It's a little different beast, including rebounds, which you don't see in the indoor game. I'll have to come off the post, the lucky post.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a quicker reactions, quicker timing. And it does help with the skills, especially in the outdoor game. I mean, where you have wide open space, obviously, to do your thing, but you're able to make those, quick decisions, the quick decisions more easier in the outdoor game as it would be in the indoor game, where it has to be fast and, accurate.
And being aware as well, which also helps that because, like I said, those balls go really fast.
Absolutely.
Very fast.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So,
if you want
I
to
believe.
get a preview, if you want to get a preview, you can watch the MASL, the men's league, and tell you how fast and furious they are. They just started their new season, and oh my!
Some of those games you can see on YouTube and on the CBS Golazo network.
You're right. Yes, and don't forget our first home game is January the 3rd. We're going to be back in our normal habitat.
Yes, we will. We're looking forward to that. So, I mean, that's going to be fun.
And actually, their first game is actually this Saturday, but they're going to be in Youngstown, Ohio. Facing on the
and then
Youngstown.
The next game, I believe they are taking on. Oh, if I have the, let's see if I have the schedule right. I do have the schedule right in front of me as it's loading. But they take out they go the Youngstown Nighthawks. They will be taking
Nighthawks. Sorry.
Yeah,
I confused it with the junior hockey league team in Youngstown, Ohio.
Yeah. So the Youngstown Nighthawks they'll be playing them on Saturday night, and then they got one more game before coming back to the clubhouse for their opener on January 3rd. So should be, and then I just opened up my Facebook and I saw the Faru signing.
Okay.
So I did post it in the group. There we go. So did the part. Okay, so the next one will be a trip to Kitchener, Ontario, to take on FC Berlin.
Let's hope they get past through customs, for God's sakes.
They should. They should be all right. They should be all right.
Okay.
They should be all right. We hope we hope FC Berlin gets past customs here. I'm not worried about Canadian customs.
So why in the hell a Kitchener, Ontario team is in a U.S. league? I have no clue. Oh my God!
Because it's a North American league.
Oh yes.
That's why Chihuahua Savage was in it.
I know. Unfortunately, they're not in it because of
their, hey, you got to up your standards, I guess, to be on TV, especially if you want to be a top tier club in that league.
I know. It's all about TV.
That's right. It's all about the TV. So, all right, delving into some quick notes here as far as the European goes, the European. Basically, I might as well say as far as the Premier League goes here, because some big happenings among the weekend and big happenings during the week, because this is one of those rare weeks in which the Premier League is pretty much encompassing the week. One of their weeks of play is right now. It's the festive fixture season, of course, but right now it's become kind of the shall we say a big story now, as Sunday's game between Arsenal and Chelsea, the two London Giants, ended in a draw.
1-1.
Makes things a little bit more interesting, because we thought Arsenal was going to start to run away with this thing and make their move to, dominate it, and it'll be a first title for Mikel Arteta. However, the world champions I believe got up early. Let me go back to Let me go back to Sunday on that. Yeah, the world champions. I mean, despite having a red card, but it was Shabula in the 48th minute. Marino answered back in the 59th minute. And this game also had a red card as well.
Oh, brother.
Yeah. Moises Calcedo got the red card in the 38th minute for, but yeah, it was, but Calcedo, this is how this happened. I believe it was a yellow that turned into a red. I think there was like two, I don't know. It was a yellow that ended up turning into a red via VAR.
Oh, brother.
Yeah, so that's how that happened.
So
And
it
then, as
changed
I
from a
mentioned,
lemon to a raspberry, just like that.
yeah, pretty much. So
Yeah.
Chalobah got the first goal despite being down a man, and then Moreno answered back off of off a header assisted by Bukayo Saka in the 59th minute, and the two teams ended up a draw. What this means for the table,
Oh, yeah. I have
by
the
the way.
table right here. Arsenal, 30 points so far. Man City, 28 points. We'll get to that in just a minute. Chelsea, Aston Villa, 24 points. Brighton, Sunderland, 22 points. Man U and the defending champion Liverpool, 21 points.
Much
So,
needed victories by both those squads over the weekend.
yeah, you're right. And
Yeah,
Man
they were
City,
They were sitting right. Remember when they were sitting earlier in the week?
yeah,
Liverpool was, I believe, they were 12th or no 11th. They were 11th behind Everton,
I see.
and
Yes.
of course, it's all wild down, wild down below right now. But right now, between fourth and 10th, between third and 10th in the Premier League, it's a difference
Uh-huh.
of 4 points right now.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, and there's a group of four right now with 19 points.
Oh, yeah.
Fulham at 17, Nottingham with 12, West Ham with 11. They're in a little battle down in the relegation zone with Leeds and Burnley, and then there's Lonely Wolves.
I.e. the Devil Fletcher. You mentioned it.
Yeah,
Now, yeah,
and
you mentioned
then
12
there's
points.
Lonely Wolves, 2 points.
Yes, that is not a misprint. They have 2 draws, 2 points, and yes, we're now in December. They haven't won a game.
No, they have not won a game yet. They have had 11 losses, 2 draws. It's not good down in Wolverhampton. There's a
Yeah,
high
and I
possibility
heard,
they may be the first relegated, and they could have the worst record in the Premier League.
I heard rumor that a nearby Red Devil Plumbing have set up shop near the Wolves location. You probably know that's a bad sign if you're that low with 2 points, just about, let me see, 9 points away from safety and can't win a game. Oh, that means end of April or May. Ooh, what the Thunder to the championship league.
Wish I had a toilet sound effect.
We're gonna make one or something, but hey, if you see a rough double plumbing store nearby, it doesn't look good.
No, it
You're the
definitely
Premier
doesn't.
League champion, 1, 2, and you probably know if you finish bottom of League 2, you're in the sea of all the other your English team trying to get in. So,
So, but
speaking of Manchester City, there was a game against Fulham, which was a high
oh
scoring
my
affair
God,
last night.
that
And
was
the
a that was wild. That was wild. I wasn't listening to the game, and I mean, while I was at work or anything, but my thought was going off constantly on that one. Put it this way, Manchester City was up 5-1. By the way, the first goal scored, one
your
Erling
boy,
Haaland. Erling
And that
Haaland
was
got his
historic.
100th
I was about
goal.
to say that's historic for a big reason.
100th goal in his 111th game, fastest to 100 in the history of the Premier League, and that set things off for Detroit, for Manchester City, and it seemed like they were cruising along. However, after going up 5-1, um, Smith Rowe scored a goal to make it 4-1 make it 4-1 at that point, and then there was the own goal by Berge to make it 5-1.
Okay.
Awabi and Chukwueze made things a little bit interesting late. Awobi in the 57th minute and Chukwueze in the 72nd and 78th minutes made things a little bit more little bit squeaky bum time for Man City. Man City comes away with the 5-4 victory. However, we're seeing a problem with Man City right now, and that is on the defense.
Oh my. Oh my.
Yeah, the back line, or for Man City right now, and they're trying to make things easier for their goalkeeper Donnarumma, but you look at this back line that was there yesterday, and here's their FOTMOP scores: O'Reilly 5.5, Vardal, Vardal 6.4, Ruben Diaz 6.2, and Nunez was 6.5. This is not the Manchester City back line that we've been accustomed to for a few years. A lot of different pieces in there, but the last two matches that they they've had. I mean, the one they ended up having to come back from being equalized, and then Phil Foden comes in and gets the goal to break the deadlock to win that one against Leeds. But that was on let's see, that was on Saturday, I believe. Let me check that there. Yeah, against Leeds. So questions on that back line for Manchester City.
I know. Speaking
And
of which, I want to go back to Aaron Holland, who is the 35th player to join the Century Club. And you said it. 111 games, 100 goals. Alan Shearer, who holds the all-time Premier League record with 260 goals, he got to 100 in 124 games. So let's say he's on pace.
I would say so. And the thing is, too, it's nice to see Foden get a goal. Getting goals again, and that's the problem. And that's another problem with Manchester City. They get to points where, okay, they're just relying on Erling Haaland, but it's you got to have other people. Much like in a way we would with Darren Smith early on. It's like, okay, Darren Smith's on this roll, feed it to him, feed it to him. But if Darren Smith's having the yips and nobody else is stepping up, 9 times out of 10 you're going to have problems.
That's a problem.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10 they're having problems, and you got to be able to sustain that. And I mean, grant you, Manchester City has had a history of players that have had that have stepped up, whether they're big stars, say like Aguero had not scored. You have somebody in there like a Kevin De Bruyne or a Mahrez or a Gundogan or David Silva. As well. I mean, you had other players to step up right now. But right now, Phil Foden, he's been feeling a little bit of shall we say, a little bit of emotional backlog from what I've been hearing. He's starting to get it to come together in a little bit, and he's shown it in the last couple games, which is a good sign. And it's a good sign for him going forward, should he be selected to the English national team.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I know.
But needless to say, another brief mention. Let's go on the women's front, though. Remember our World Cup opponent from 1999?
Yes, China. I remember that game well. It was in the Rose Bowl, Los Angeles. both teams played to a spirited 1-1 tie. The only memory I had was that defender, Lilly, who stopped the goal before it went in the Chinese net, which was a miracle. And then Brandy Shenshane took off her shirt for her country after she called the game-winning penalty kick. Oh, my God.
China was one of the top 2 countries in women's football back in the day.
I know. I know.
This past Saturday,
Yeah.
in an international friendly
Uh-huh.
that occurred,
Uh-huh.
I believe it was in England.
Okay.
They took on the English squad.
Okay.
Clearly, we're all now one of the top 3 footballing women's footballing nations in the world.
Yes.
Needless to say, they went in there. China went into the game, and they got their. Let's just say they got shellacked.
8-0 or 8-0.
8-0 was the final in that match.
Do they have
Has the table been flipped?
Yeah. Or probably one of those bad games. Maybe. I'm not sure.
Because China used to be a major power in women's football, and now you're seeing the rise of European strongholds like World Cup winner Spain, England being a factor now in women's international football competition. So you're seeing a lot of changes now.
I agree. And I said this after the Women's Euro Cup final. The U.S., who has been very good at this, winning 3 World Cups, honestly, the world catching up to the early powers, like a China, like a USA. You know what I mean? And would not be surprised if they're about to take the pedal to the wheel.
70% ball possession, 15 total shots, 9 on target for England compared to 4 total shots and 2 on target for China. Mead twice, Lauren Hemp, Stanway with a couple goals. Actually, Georgia Stanway got a hattie.
Patrick.
Yep. And then Ella Toon and Alicia Russo were your goal scorers for England. They just mollywopped them.
You're right. I don't know if there was a cry of "Please, Reliance, don't hammer them," play off of MC Hammer's famous song, "Please, Hammer, don't hurt them." Oh my.
Yeah, or stop. He's already dead, or she's already dead.
From The Simpsons, I know.
It was a shellacking, but yeah, the table has definitely flipped more to the European side. You're seeing a lot more, and benefit those, especially like I said, the backings of the powerful European clubs, whether it be a Barcelona, whether it be a Chelsea, whether it be Manchester City, whatever. When you're getting the backing from the parent clubs of of those European, and a lot of, and we talked about this last.
And don't forget the FA.
Yeah,
Football.
And remember, we talked about this last week with the whole Trinity Rodman situation, because they're willing to pay the money to get stars like a Rose Lavelle, like a Trinity Rodman, willing to get all these American stars that played in the NWSL, because NWSL has a salary cap. They're limited. They're not limited to spend, or there's no limit in their spending in Europe.
Wow.
So a lot of that has to do with that, and of course, bringing in that culture has helped these countries, advance in their in the women's football game.
I know.
For sure.
You want to move on to? We don't want to talk about it on Soccer Night, but we have to talk about it. This week is the MLS final.
Oh yes.
Brother.
We have to talk about it. I forgot about that. Yeah, we're running a little bit long, but we'll briefly talk about it. Obviously, Inter Miami on a run. I think the shall we say, the yellow brick road has been opened up for them
I
as far as
know.
competition goes. Philadelphia Union got eliminated, so that was one team that they didn't have to face on their way to the MLS Cup final.
You know what
They
I'm
did have
glad,
a little
you know
trouble with Nashville,
I know.
but
You
they
know what
ended up. But
I was
let's
about
just
to
say
say?
their path was laid out.
I know. Well, I'm glad it was not the worst final name in history. The Pink Phony Club versus the Fake Loyal San Diego, which lost to the Vancouver Whitecaps last week in their semifinals. So it's
And
going to
this
be.
is going to be a good final because you have a team that defeated Inter Miami. Grant you, let's just say there was a couple players that weren't involved in their earlier confrontation in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. Vancouver went down to Miami and beat them to
Oh my.
advance to the final.
Oh my.
Yeah, that was huge. That was huge. And of course, when you got players like Sebastian Berhalter who's making a case for the U.S. national team, in comes Thomas Muller from Germany.
Oh yeah. From who's playing with Vancouver. Oh my.
Yeah, like I said, this could be checkmate for Messi and his old boys club. And I don't mean
Wow.
Newell's old boys. I'm
So
talking about his old Barcelona boys.
I'm gonna watch that game. It's gonna be 2:30 early. I know because there's a certain title game in Indianapolis with the
I'm not
Buckeyes.
watching. I'm done watching college football.
I know, college
Go
football, but
Indiana,
let me
by the
tell
way.
you, that's gonna be a good final. It's gonna be on Fox. It's gonna be on Apple TV Plus. It's gonna be in Spanish and in Canada. And this is gonna be a good final.
And considering the issues that Vancouver has had,
Yes.
especially with the stadium issue in general, um, grant you they have to travel to Miami, but they did travel to Miami once before and did beat them in their own ground. So
You're
I
right.
think DePaul was not with them the last time these two teams met in the
Uh-huh.
CCC.
Uh-huh.
So you got those factors as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. And Thomas Mueller has been, shall we say, kryptonite for one Lionel Messi in the past.
So, do we root for Mueller and the Whitecap to bring home a title to Vancouver for the first time? And I hope this boosts their chances because, like I said, their future in Vancouver is unknown. Who knows?
Absolutely. Maybe it'll be the catalyst to get something going there as far as getting a soccer specific stadium over there, a proper soccer specific stadium, because Don Garber has been going out of his way to make sure. Oh well, DC Place is not a good place, or it's not a good venue or whatever. But
By the way, I've been following Canadian football for a long time. That's been there for almost 50 years. It used to be one of those carbon cookie cutter domes like the Silver Dome, but they did it with a trackable roof and all that. But that's home to the BC Lions, the Canadian football team. And
it's like if you put Toronto FC in the sky in Rogers Center.
you're
Pretty
right.
much
But
the
they
deal
play
would
at
be
BBML Park, the same
a
field as,
beautiful facility.
yes. I
Yeah,
know.
beautiful. So I haven't been there, but I mean, looking at the pictures, and they are expanding it for to uh, compatible to the World Cup.
I see. I know.
So
By the way, one more team, my favorite German team, St. Pauli, who have lost 9 straight league games after starting the season with 7 points. They've been doing well in the German Cup. They beat that logo with the B in it, the striped B. I can't remember the name of it. They're in the finally in the German Cup. I saw it on ESPN Plus. It's really good. I want to plug that there.
all right.
And I think we run out of subject for this weekend. We're
Yeah,
running
pretty
long.
much. One more thing I want to bring up, though. Thank you to all those who viewed our Soccer Night in Detroit After Hours video following the championship game between Pittsburgh and FC Tulsa. Highest viewed video on the channel.
We ever done.
Yeah,
we
the
ever
highest viewed video on the channel. I'm looking up the logistics right now.
We had
240 views.
Oh my, yes.
Thank you
like
to all those that have that viewed that video. Make sure you're liking and subscribing to of all our content, and we're up to 50 now. We're up to we're up to 52 subscribers.
Like I said, that was the highest view video because everybody was looking for reaction to the entire game, including the protest. And yes, me going for Lundqvist on Stefan Lukic, who was recently nominated as the most valuable player, not only for the playoff and the regular season, but also Jason Measure Cup. You know what I mean? We have run out of time, but man, thank you very much. You know what I mean? This is what we like to do. Talk about soccer, and I'm glad you want to look reaction of two metro area soccer guys who follow DCFC and want to see our reaction to the whole thing. I think it's going to live on in infamy, man. He's the sickest man in America.
I always love that quote. And bless you, Vern Lundquist, wherever you are, for bringing that up and coming up. But thank you to those out there watching us. Make sure, as always, like and subscribe. Tell your friends about it. We don't just cover just DCFC. We cover the aspects of around the league as well. So if you want an insight about, like I said, and it's supporting local journalism.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm a local for a long time. Didn't get a chance to follow the Detroit Express during their heyday, and just friended Ryder Faulkner on Facebook. But like I said, I love this. I've been doing this for 15 years. Our 15th year will be our final year at Keyword Stadium. Can't wait to follow that.
Yes, it's gonna be interesting, and it's gonna be fun as well. So, running a little long. We'll talk to you guys on Friday night, Saturday. Going into Saturday, we'll talk for the final regular soccer night in Detroit of the year. And don't forget, we'll have our year end coming up close to Christmas time. Our top 5, because half is born is the top 10.
I know. And we want to add a little fetish of probably the worst thing we saw in soccer all year. I have mine already chosen.
Oh, the worst thing we saw in soccer all year.
Yeah, it's part of Festivus, which is before Christmas Eve Day.
The worst thing is, I gotta think of something. The worst thing.
Happy Festivus for the rest of us.
Oh yes. The worst thing. The airing of the grievances.
Yeah, the airing of the grievances, and we can only have one.
That should be part of that episode as well.
Okay.
The airing of the grievances.
Well, I hope you have a good day. I will see you on Saturday, and we're going to review everything.
Actually, I'll see you on Friday night. So,
I know.
All right, so we'll talk to you again later on this week. Until then, folks, keep your feet in the ground. Keep reaching for the galaxy.